Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make shrimp nachos. Alright, now the first thing you want to do is pour your shrimp into some warm water if it's frozen. If not, you just want to pour it in regular water and kind of rinse them off. Right now, since mine are frozen, I'm putting them in warm water. And so right now, I'm going to be peeling off my shrimp. You want to make sure all of the shells are off. You can either do this before you boil them or after. I'm just going to go ahead and do it before I boil them. Alrighty, so I peeled all my shrimp and now I'm just going to wash out my pot and fill it back up with water. Alrighty, and then I decided to add more shrimp. Alrighty, so after I did that, I filled it up with water and put it on top of the boiler. I decided to add some seasoning, so I put some Slap Your Mama. And then I added some garlic powder. And then I added some crawfish seasoning. And lastly, I added some black pepper. Now, you can season it to taste. You can put however much seasoning you want. Basically, that's what I did. I didn't really measure it out or anything. Moving on, I'm going to put some oil in a pan. I use grapeseed oil. And you just want to make sure the whole pan is kind of oiled. And I'm going to be cooking my turkey. Now, you can use ground beef or you can use turkey. To me, it kind of tastes the same, but it's based off of whatever you want. So you would do your ground beef the same way. So you're going to want to chop it up. And the oil is kind of there to keep it from sticking, but as you can see, it's still kind of sticking a little bit, but you're still going to want to chop it up. And then I'm going to be adding my seasoning. That is onion powder. And then you're going to want to add garlic powder. And then I added some black pepper. And then I added some Himalayan salt. You can also use regular salt. It's totally up to you. And then I use smoked paprika. And lastly, I use some chili powder. And again, I just season it to my taste. You can do the same, or you don't even have to add seasoning. And now you're just going to want to stir that up and kind of chop it up and cook it until it is browned. Okay, now I have let my meat cook. You want to make sure there's no signs of pink left. And you want to make sure it is thoroughly cooked. And now I'm going to be adding my taco seasoning packet. I used the Taco Bell, I think, original. You're going to want to pour that whole package in there. And you're going to want to add water. I used the taco packet. I just filled it up with water and poured it into my meat mixture. And then you're gonna wanna stir it, make sure the seasoning gets all over the meat. And then you're kinda gonna wanna let it simmer. Okay, moving back to the shrimp. We're just here to check on it and turn down the heat because it is finished cooking. And then we're gonna let that cool. So now here I am, I'm gonna chop up some cilantro, just plucking it. Alrighty, I plucked about a cup worth. And moving on to my jalapeno. It is totally up to you. You do not have to chop up jalapenos, nor do you have to add cilantro. I just chose to do that. Alrighty, and moving on to the cheese. I cut about half the block of cheese. I use Velveeta cheese, original. And you're going to want to kind of cut them into small little blocks so that it'll be easier for the cheese to melt. Alrighty, now going back to the shrimp, I did let it cool for a little bit. So after you cooled it, you're gonna want to drain all of the excess water from it. I mean, it is still hot, but it's not as hot as it was. And I also decided to go ahead and peel all of the tails. So this is my shrimp peeled. Now going back to the meat, I'm going to add my cheese. Now I added half of the blocks of cheese that I had chopped up. You don't want to add all of it just yet so it can kind of melt easier. And then I went ahead and added my Rotel so that it can keep from sticking, the cheese and meat from sticking in the bottom. So you want to make sure you add the juice as well. And then I added my milk. I added probably about a cup worth of milk, but you just want to add milk until it covers completely the bottom of the pan. And then you're going to want to stir it all together. And add the rest of your cheese. Once you see it kind of melted a little bit, you can just go ahead and add the rest. And then I also added some cream cheese. Added about a fourth worth, maybe 2 ounces worth of cream cheese. Just to give it a little bit more flavor. Then you're going to want to stir that into your cheese mixture and let it melt. Alrighty, and then you're going to want to add your cilantro. It is totally optional and up to you. I decided to add cilantro. So I'm just folding it in there and mixing it together. And then once you add that and let it melt some more, it is totally done. So this is the ending product of the cheese. Now I didn't mix my shrimp in there because my mom is allergic. I kept it separate, but you would add your shrimp in there at this point as well. And then this is what my nachos looked like. You can use regular tortilla chips or Doritos, but this is it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!